Hi, Chef Scott, Toothless in Tampa. Today we're going to work on a little no-bake treat, a nosh of something that you can throw in the fridge and have available. And you want something sweet, something between meals or after meals, or just something you can not sink your teeth into. So this is a variation on a banana pudding. It's soft, it's easy. Let's get right down to it. All right, as I said, this is going to be a variation on a regular banana pudding. We're going to be using some Chessman butter cookies, a little bit of Jell-O instant pudding, vanilla, and a banana. I mean, it's very few ingredients, simple construction, and the beauty of this is when you first make it, the cookies are a bit hard. If you let them sit overnight, the moisture from the pudding softens them up, so you end up with almost a bread-like. A layer in there. This is perfect for when you don't have a lot of chewing capability and stuff like that, and it's soft and it's cool and it's just a delight. So we're gonna get started with that right now. Our first step in this is gonna be deciding what we're gonna make it in. Now you can make it in a large thing and scoop it out, but I like to make it in these little pudding dessert dishes available everywhere. I'm sure most people have them laying around their house. I use 4. This recipe makes 4 almost perfectly, so we get those prepped out there. Next step in this is deciding on your cookie. Now, normally you use like a Nilla wafer, but you can use any kind of soft, waferish type cookie. The trick is sweet. I'm going to be using Chessman cookies today. I think they add a variety of flavor or something a little different than a thing. And it's a simple matter of taking your cookies, you break them up. Basically, we're making a layer at the bottom. No really large pieces, but nothing really small either. You don't want dust. And then this gives you a nice, like I said, you put this in the fridge overnight. The moisture from the pudding and the bananas soaks into these, and they turn almost into like a bread-like structure. Very palatable, very flavorful. Next step in this process is going to be adding your banana, simple banana. The beauty of this, if you get a couple of bananas, and sometimes they start getting towards the edge of not really bad, but not, maybe a little bit too ripe to just eat as a banana. So this perfect opportunity to use them for that. Figure about a quarter per banana per bowl here. We just slice them up thin. That way we have a nice an easy way to do this is, of course, you just quarter them, a quarter in each one. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no right or wrong. You just chop them up. Slice them up, chop them up, whatever works for you. Whatever you find palatable and enjoyable and aesthetically pleasing. Never discount the aesthetic value of food. If it looks good, it looks like it's going to be good, generally it will be. Chef rule of thumb 1. All right, even that out a little bit. Life's good. The next step here is a trickier one. I don't know if everybody's ever made instant pudding before. Not rocket science. Follow the label directions. And it's a simple process, but it's something you really want to prep for ahead of time. You don't want to be struggling looking for a whisk or a scraper or even your ingredients when you have like a 2-minute time limit. The trick to this is smooth mixing for a couple of minutes, and then you end up with a good product. You also have a limited time after that 2 minutes to get it into the containers before it starts setting up. Setting up is good, but if you delay too long, you're going to find yourself with a large bowl of vanilla pudding. Not necessarily a bad thing, but not the goal here. So bear that in mind. On a little side note, as far as ingredients go, anytime you can source locally or near your home, I think that's always a better choice. Today I'm using this milk, Cool Cow, which is a dairy 40, 50 miles maybe away from my house. A smaller dairy. By doing that, you're supporting smaller businesses, smaller farms. It can give you the benefits of sourcing your ingredients that contain the micronutrients or the microenvironments in which you actually live. I personally think that does affect the product. And it's more beneficial to us if we can live closer to where we eat, or eat closer to where we live, I guess is a better way to put it. Personal choice, nothing wrong with the milk you buy in the store. All right, we've got our pudding mix in the bowl. We've got our milk at the ready. We're gonna set 2 minutes on our timer. And we're gonna get to mixing. Nothing fancy about it. You pour it in slowly while you mix. This will allow a good wetting of all the ingredients. We don't want a vigorous mix, but we do want a thorough mix. The trick is to keep it moving and keep it mixing for that 2 minutes. This allows the mix to get fully saturated with the milk. All right, we've hit our 2 minutes. We can see we've got a good, probably a half set already going on this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna carefully pour this into the bowls. One, clearly per bowl. Don't worry if we make a little mess. You know, cooking can be a little messy, it's okay. Try to use as much as we can. Don't want to waste if we can help it. Full bowls are happy bowls. There's a little help there. That last little bit. I'll tuck some of those down inside. And you can see this one's run a little heavy, a little over. No big deal. Wipe these down and it's all going to be good. All right, a little side note on the cooking process. So as you can see, we made a little bit of a mess out of this. That one's a little too full, a little bit of splattering around here and there. And just as a note, don't be afraid of making mistakes when you're cooking things. A lot of people are so intimidated by cooking or food preparation because they're afraid they're going to make a mistake. Mistakes get made. Messes get made, they get cleaned up. At the end of the day, if you end up with an edible, enjoyable product, you did a good job. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Don't be so hard on the process. Enjoy it. Try to remember, food is love. I mean, so, you know, treat it that way, enjoy yourself, and don't worry about any little messes you make or mistakes you make. It happens. We've got our mix made. We've got them in their little bowls. We've got everything layered up, and we've cleaned up our mess. So now we're going to wrap them up and stick them in the fridge overnight. A little saran wrap over the top. You can always tell a chef because we have these industrial commercial size saran wraps, you know, plastic wraps in our homes because, yeah, we just kind of never get over that. Simple wrap. I was once told by a chef I worked for, you can always tell if people work in kitchens if they can manage to work with plastic wrap without it sticking all over the world. All right, and in the fridge. And we'll revisit that in the morning. All right, been 24 hours. Let's see how this came out. We'll unwrap. Me, I like to top mine with a little Ready Whip. You can certainly feel free to hand make your own whipped creams. I know when I do, my dog loses his mind. So we're going to get a little topper on there. I don't know that you can have too much. There is no appropriate amount, as much as we like. Let me give that a little taste. Get a little whipped cream. Get down in there, get that banana. Oh, that stuff is just soft. It's just like cake almost down there. It's beautiful. We got that little piece here. Oh, this is the bottom just so, it's so creamy. I mean, it just gets so, yeah, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Simple, it's easy. Get nothing better than have a little treat in the fridge for when you're feeling that kind of way. Sweet, wonderful. Like we always say here on Toothless in Tampa, if I can eat it, anybody can. You have a great day.